Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off, so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names and the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Klopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started. Continues on and on and on and on. This is the song from the movie Up. The name of the song is Married Life. We'll talk more about that in just a second, but first let me introduce you to the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what, Jamin? I got to go roller skating for the first time in forever with someone very special, and I got to have an icy, like one of those slushies that's like full of sugar.
Yes,
They're the best things ever.
Yeah, okay.
And I got to have one after like having not had one for like years.
Like how many years?
2?
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. That's forever in your world.
Well, I think that was just like one time, like a one-time deal, and then it was like 5 years before that, probably.
Alrighty. These glasses are making me feel old, I think. That's not at all the fact that I am old. So anyway, we're going to play this song, and this, like I said, is from Up. And so good news, bad news here. Let's start with the, hi, Klopple. Yes, we'll move along. I know, I just want to tell them how to get through the song. So then the first thing about this song is that, like, the bad news is it's really long and it's a little bit complicated. But the good news is it's got a repeating pattern in it. So once you learn the first pattern, that's going to show up like a billion trillion times. And then also the entire soundtrack is basically this piece right here, this chunk of music, but then they like play it higher and they play it lower, they play it faster, they play it slower. Basically the whole soundtrack is just this one song. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in here. Let me show you the first little thing that you need. The first little snippet that you need is take any note. We're gonna start on a C, if you already know where a C is, and you can find a C and try this thing, but just pick any note and you're gonna play that one. You're gonna skip over a note to the right and then come right back. So in this case, I'm playing that and going over to that and coming back to there. And then after you do that, so we've got a note, skip, and then come back, and then we're gonna move one note to the left. So like that. So that is 4 notes. It's gonna be note, skip a note, and then come back, and then move one note down like that. So that thing right there, those 4 notes, you can start that on any note at all. You can start right here. Right here, if I start on this A, then we play that, skip, come back, go down 1. Or we can play that note, skip, come back, go down 1. That is the main idea for the entire song and for the entire soundtrack. So just getting that thing down is really gonna help. We're gonna alter it later on where like instead of like skipping up and coming back and going down 1 note, we might like not skip. We might just go over 1 note like there and then over 1 note. So we might like alter it a little bit, but that idea of note, move over to the right, come back, move 1 to the left, that's gonna be super important. Okay, so if we do start on a C, in order to find a C, you just take any group of 2 black notes, like those ones right there, or like those ones right there. Any group of 2 black notes is gonna work. All right, you just take those and then play the note that's on the left and drag it even more to the left until you land on a white note, and that is gonna be a C right there. So that's a C, and then we play that one and just do that pattern thing. So we're gonna go C, and then skip a note, and then come back, and then go 1 note to the left. So, and we're gonna say out loud too all of the words as we go. So we'd play the C and say the, we'd play the E and say mare, we'd play a C and say read, and then we play the B and say life. So we play the married life. Go ahead and try that on your own there. I'll give you a second. Go ahead and try C, and then skip a note, come back, and go down 1 note, but make sure you say the married life. Ready, set, go, as slow as you need. Got it? Okay, cool. If you have that, then we're really set. We're gonna do the exact same thing, but this time we're gonna mess up a little bit. So when we come back, instead of hitting the C, instead of going C, E, and then C, we're gonna mess up a little bit by accidentally not hitting the C. We're gonna go C, E, and when we come back, we're gonna go too far and accidentally hit the B. Cool? And then we're gonna go 1 note down. So it's like we got the first half right, but we messed up on the second half. That's the way the next section goes. So that is C, E, B, A. C, E, B, A. It's almost the same pattern, but just messed up a little bit. So we have the first one, which is the married life. And then we're gonna do the same thing, but the messed up version and say man and wife. Now, if you haven't seen the movie before, it's about to get really sad. We're gonna do the same exact pattern starting on the A, right there. We're gonna go up a note, or skip over a note, sorry, and then come back down to that note and go down 1. So it's gonna be that same pattern that we've been using, right there. And the words are gonna be, except she, next line, Guys, yeah. So the words for this song are gonna go like this. I don't blame me. It's those meanies over at Pixar that are trying to make you cry. Maybe me too. Shh, don't tell anyone. The married life, a man and wife, except she dies. And then that's gonna be it for that pattern for right now. We're gonna use a little bit different thing. We already got to the A before, and the highest note we played so far is an E. So we're gonna need an A and an E for this next section. So go ahead and try to find that A and that E right there. We've already played those notes. It's the same one that we played for, let's see here. We played wife, X, she. Those are all A's. And then the E is the second note that we played in the whole thing. So we need an A and an E. And we're gonna play that one, and then we're gonna play the note right next to it. So those 3 notes, those ones. So we're going to play the A and the E and the D, and the A and the E and the D, and then add in one more note, a C, before the last A. And the words for that section are, and this is the part where I cry. Maybe. Yeah. Of course. You have to. You don't have a heart if you don't cry there. Okay. So then we're all the way up to cry. And then this one right here is like that smushed up version of that thing we did before. So instead of that we did at the beginning, we're just going to take those same ones and just smush this one in a little bit. So we're going to use that one instead of that one. So the old man tries. So all together, let's try those first 4 lines. If you're in the archives, now's a great time to press pause, try those first 2 lines, practice them up. When you finally get it, join us again, press play, and then we'll all play this together. If you're live with us, just get all the notes that you can, maybe the first note or 2 or 3 or 4, and don't worry about the ones that you missed. Here we go, everyone doing their best, starting on C. Ready, go. The married life, a man and wife, except she dies. And this is the part where I cry. The old man tries. Okay, cool. So then we're going to use that same exact pattern that we had before, but starting on the B, that's going to be these 4 notes. We would go like this. Really? We're out of time already? Buddy. Okay, we are on the next to last line. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. Fortunately, there's a lot of repeating in here. Let me show you how this goes so that we can move along like Kloppel says. So this is a B. We're going to do that same pattern right there, except this one is going to get pushed out 1 note. So 1 note to the left. We're going to use those ones instead. Basically the same pattern, but we're going to play. So to say goodbye. And then we're going to use the same exact normal, regular pattern that was the very first one that we did, but starting on a G. This is about where people like who are with me start feeling like, wait a second, how do I keep track of which ones are changed and which ones are smushed and which ones are expanded and what order they're in? That's why you need the sheet music to memorize it, because this one's tough to memorize because it's really long. But again, once you get it down, even if it takes you a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 3 months, once you have it down, you pretty much know the entire soundtrack for the whole movie. So we're going to play this one right here, starting on the G. So it's the same pattern that we've done before. And then we're going to pretend like we're going to do that one. It's like a smushed up one from the F, like that. So starting on the F, not skipping out, but using that one right there, right next to it. And that's a little. And then once we hit that E, good news. You just walk it straight up. No skipping at all. You just step straight through it. Guy holds on to high. And then almost the same thing. We're going to go back down to this G right here. This is pretty much the last thing you have to remember. Go to that G, go up and up and up. And once you get to that C, you're going to play the very first thing you played. Probably everyone can play this section at this point if you've been practicing that section for the whole lesson. That thing right there is also a happy life at the very end. So let's try this with the words. Get all the notes that you can. If you miss a whole ton of them, that's fine. You got plenty of time to practice. Let's all go together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. The married life. A man and wife, except she dies. And this is the part where I cry. The old man tries to say goodbye, and up he flies. A little guy holds on too high, and they find a happy life. Yeah, okay, so a lot to memorize. Fortunately, we got that pattern that kind of helps us out a little bit. We still have to memorize like where it starts and which ones are expanded and which ones are crammed together. But with some practice, I know you can get it. Just do the little part that you can, plus maybe add in one note or one little phrase. Don't try to do the whole thing all at once. And we'll do more of this on level 2, 3, 4, and 5. But for right now, Kendra, tell us about our weekly activity.
This week is the bass clef spelling, and if you write the names of the notes, they all spell words. Find the words and tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for 150 bonus points for my mascot penguin Kloppel.
Yeah, that's a great one for working on like level 3 stuff. So if you're working on level 3, you'll want to make sure that, especially if you're doing Clopple Academy level 2 or 3, or if you're just doing the songs level 3, then you'll want to make sure you do some of that bass clef reading. But for right now, let's do our feature of the day, which today is going to be a lick of the day. So I want to show you this thing. We've been practicing this little phrase that goes like that. That thing right there. It uses almost all of the same notes, is probably the most popular ending to all songs. And that is, if we steal these ones right here, but instead of using the skip up, we use a skip down, we would end up on a G and a B and a C. And if you play those 3 notes in that order at the end of almost any song whatsoever, it's gonna sound really cool. Right there. So like if it was, I don't know, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Ha! That's kind of cool. I like it. We could do it on this one too. So on almost any song, you can add in a G and a B and a C. It's going to be a great little lick to end all of your songs, especially the ones that you're like making up on your own. I love hearing it when you send me videos of you playing songs that you're just making up. Throw in the G, B, C at the end of it, and it's going to sound pretty cool. Well, let's do a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week it's from Sunderstars, who says, Dear Jamin, how often should I practice? That's a tough one. So I've got some students that never, ever, ever practice, except they show up to their lessons. So they get better at about the rate of half an hour per week, because we don't count getting good at piano in numbers of years you've been doing it or numbers of months you've been doing it. We count it in practice hours. So if you spend 10 hours one week practicing, you've just become a 10-hour musician. That's pretty cool. But if you're only practicing like a half an hour a week, then it's going to take you like, I don't know, 20 weeks. I think I did that math right. About 20 weeks to get to be a 10-hour musician. So we're really counting in practice hours. So I think most of my students aim for something like about 20 to 30 minutes, 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. So 3 to 5 times a week, practicing 20 to 30 minutes, that's going to get you some really good progress. But other students, they're doing hours a day, and other students aren't doing any at all. And they're all getting better at about the same rate. At about 1 hour of practice makes you about 1 hour better. So it just depends on how fast you want to get good at this stuff. Well, I've got a couple secrets about this song. Let's get into it right now with Secret Information.
Secret information.
All right, it's time for secret information. And in today's top secret information folder, it says, the word that we haven't used yet that only musicians really know is the word motif. So a motif is some little idea that you repeat over and over and over. Can you think of what a motif would be for this song? Yeah, it's that idea of like note and then move to the right and then come back and then go one more down. That's definitely the motif for this thing. The other piece of secret information that I have is not only the word motif, but the word sequencing. So sequencing is when you take some motif, some little idea, and then you just move it up and down on the piano. So if we take this thing and then we move it down one note, instead of starting on a C, we start on a B. Now we have sequenced that little motif. Now we sequence it down one. Now we sequence that down one. Now sequence that down one. And you can also use this in the songs that you're writing whenever you like come up with some really cool thing that you like. Try not only using that one, but move it over a note, or move it over 2 notes, move it down a note, move it down 2 notes, move it all over the place. Try sequencing your ideas and see what kind of cool songs you can come up with. The last piece of secret information is not in this folder. It's in the raffle. Let's see if you won. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.